El día de hoy estamos con el representante republicano al Departamento de Estado, Anthony Amore. Welcome, Anthony. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Fine. Thank you for asking. Anthony, the reason that we are here is because we need to ask you exactly what are the functions, illustrators, what are the functions of the Department of State, the job description?
Well, the Secretary of State's main role, the one that people know him best for, is to be the chief elections officer. So every election that we have throughout the state, ultimately he has a role in making sure that it functions properly, that the information is distributed to the public properly, that they're secure, and that when the votes come in, that he certifies the election.
It's a very important function. So I would like to ask you also about Anthony Amore. Can I have a little bit of your background?
Sure. I live in Swampscott. I have two daughters. I spent the first 15 years of my career with the federal government, and I worked for the Immigration Service. They used to call it the INS. I worked as a special agent with the FAA Security Division, overseeing airports. And then after 9/11, I worked to rebuild security at Logan Airport. You know, Logan is where the two aircraft took off that struck the Twin Towers. So we rebuilt security at Logan. I worked on a big team with Homeland Security. After I worked there for a number of years, I went over to the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum in Boston, where the biggest art heist ever happened. And I work on the investigation, and I do the security for the museum. We have billions of dollars worth of art in the museum. And so I have a lot of experience doing security and making sure that the public has access to airports and museums. And now I want to do it for elections.
Well, it sounds very interesting and very difficult labor to do. Well, I would like to ask you, because you've been working for immigration for so many years, I would like to ask you why you are here with me, with this Latino community. We need to know.
Well, you know, I think there's some misconceptions about immigration. When I was working for immigration, one of the great honors that I had was to help people become citizens and to help refugees come into the country. This was in the early 1990s, so most of the refugees I worked with were from Bosnia or from Vietnam. But I worked with a lot of people from the Latino community, and I found them to be great. I love Latino culture and the people, and they're warm, and they contribute to the United States. And working for immigration allowed me to help people do it legally, and I think that's very important. So when I think about elections and I think about Latino immigrants who became citizens being able to vote, I think that's beautiful. It's the most important thing a citizen can do. I want to make sure that the Latino community comes out and votes. And I also want them to know that Republicans aren't the enemy, that we care about them too. And that's why I am doing this tonight. I want to reach out to the Latino community and ask for their support as I run for this important office.